What's up, the John Squad? This is John Pilling here, your YouTube World Heavyweight Champion here on YouTube, and I'm coming to my WWE Smackdown review for January 15th, 2019. So, let's do this, shall we, the John Squad? So we kicked off WWE Smackdown last night with Becky Lynch driving in a car. She comes out of the car and gets interviewed. And she was asked that if she's ready for Asuka. So then she says, like, I'm going to go to the ring and ask that answer. So then Heavy Machinery and the New Day are shown backstage blending pancakes in a blender, right? And I was like, oh, okay. So then Becky Lynch sees them doing that, and she drinks out of the blender of the blended pancakes. So then Becky Lynch goes out to the ring, and then Becky Lynch drinks the blended pancakes. Then Becky Lynch goes out to the ring, and she talks on the mic about in 2 weeks that she has a chance to take back her title, and that she's talking about and that Asuka, and that she talks about Asuka, and that she has a chance to take back her title. She talks about Asuka, and then out comes Asuka, and then Asuka talks to Becky, and that after Royal Rumble that she will not be in Charlotte's shadow, she will be in Asuka's shadow. So then the Iconics come out and they talk to Asuka, and they say that they are going to win the Royal Rumble. They will come the first ever women's tag team after the Elimination Chamber, and then they will go to WrestleMania to main event. That's what they talk about. So then Becky issues a challenge to them, and that's what she issues. So then the first match we had on SmackDown was Becky Lynch versus Peyton Royce, and the winner was Becky Lynch. Then after the match, Asuka issues a challenge to Billie Kay. So then the second match we had on SmackDown was Asuka versus Billie Kay, and the winner was Asuka. Then after the match, Becky Lynch and Asuka had a stare down with each other. So then AJ Styles comes out after the match, and AJ Styles goes to the concession stand, and then AJ Styles cuts a promo and talks about Daniel Bryan, and then talks about kicking Daniel Bryan's butt at the Royal Rumble, and then he's tossing merch out to the crowd. But then Daniel Bryan goes and attacks AJ Styles at the concession stand, and then they both brawl and beat each other up back and forth, and then finally AJ Styles gets the upper hand in this one and puts Daniel Bryan right through the table, and security gets AJ Styles right off of Daniel Bryan, and that's what happens to that whole entire thing. So then the third match on SmackDown was Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali, and the match doesn't even happen at all because as Mustafa Ali was on the turnbuckle, Samoa Joe attacks Mustafa Ali, and then he goes back again to go attack Mustafa Ali. Then the third time he goes back and attacks Mustafa Ali and throws him into the barricade, and that match does not happen at all. So then the next match you had on SmackDown was Rey Mysterio versus Andre. Andre, so I guess there's no more Andre Cien Almas. I guess it's just Andre now. And the winner was Andre. And due to Selena Vega distracting the referee and then distracting Rey Mysterio, and that's what happens there. So then they had a whole Jimmy Uso thing where Manny Rose gave Jimmy Uso a hotel, her hotel key to go to her hotel room. So Jimmy Uso goes to Manny Rose's hotel room, knocks on the door, opens it up, and Manny Rose is sitting in a chair, takes off her robe. Don't worry, she had clothes on in this one, and tells her. And Jimmy Uso tells her to stop, and then a photo photographer takes a photo, and Mandy tells him that he despises his wife and that she will look at these photos. So then, all of a sudden, is that Jimmy Uso leaves, and that Naomi appears in the room and starts to beat up on Mandy Rose. Just beats her up, beats her up, beats her up until Mandy Rose throws Naomi over the chair, and that's what happens in that whole entire thing. Whew. Okay, so then we had a bestie birthday bash for Shane McMahon and the Miz, what welcomes out Shane McMahon, and the Miz wishes him a happy birthday, and Shane says that he's how he's like on certain with birthday parties. So then the Miz shows him shows him the cakes. Shows him the cakes with pictures of him with him and Shane on the cakes, and then gives him a gift and tells him to open it, and the fans are saying, open it with him, and so he opens it, and then next thing you know, it's Air Jordan's 33s, and for him to wear at the Royal Rumble, and then he shows him and then he gives him another gift of his career on the Titantron, on the Tron, so for his gift, and then Shane dreams of becoming tag team champions. Becoming tag team champions. So then, they all sing happy birthday to Shane McMahon. That is until Sheamus and Cesaro come out, and say that they were never invited to this party, and then they say that Vince McMahon was never invited to this party. Shane's father was never invited to this party, and then they will destroy them at the Royal Rumble. So then Shane makes Miz and Sheamus for right now for the main event, right? So then the Miz says that he is not just. So then Shane McMahon says, "Well, for my birthday, I want you to wrestle right now." And I wrestled in my street code, so I was never I was never ready, so that's what he says. So then the main event we had on SmackDown was The Miz versus Sheamus, and the winner was The Miz. But during the match was Cesaro tried to get involved, but then Cesaro gets put right through the vanilla cake table, and I thought that was pretty funny. Sheamus just puts Cesaro right through the vanilla cake table, and that was pretty funny right there. But then after that, Sheamus goes in and attacks The Miz. Sheamus makes a save and starts to beat Sheamus in the corner. And then The Miz delivers a skull crushing finale onto Sheamus. And then Sheamus is laying into the corner. And then The Miz puts a cake right into Sheamus' face. And Sheamus goes on top of the turnbuckle. And then goes coast to coast as the coast to coast. And The Miz and Champion celebrate with the Best in the World's trophy, and The Miz puts cake in Champion's face, and that's what happens to WWE Smackdown last night. So what a SmackDown this was last night. I thought it was pretty awesome. The Rey Mysterio versus Andre match was awesome too last night. You have to go check it out for yourselves. So look at highlights, look at anything you want to. So I thought the SmackDown was pretty good, for January 15th, 2019. I thought the SmackDown was pretty good. So, once again, the John Squad, please like this video. Leave your comments down below and subscribe for more. You're all the best of John Squad. You're all one of a kind. Love each and every single one of you all. Don't forget to tap that bell on your YouTube app so you never miss an upload on my videos so you can get notified when I upload my videos. Peace out, the John Squad.